Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now, we're going to get our popcorn. And then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car. And I'll be in there in a minute. I'll see you real soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Like, share, subscribe.
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you. And I think you'll have to listen. Because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day.
And we won't stop. We will not stop.
Sun. Come, won't you come along? And it feels so right. It's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart. Doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me this time. Baby, baby, now
See this?
I
How you cannot go
Baby,
here?
baby, gotta go. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me it's right.
Neighbors and the
When you
community
came to me,
compelled
who
to
are
scour
you?
the area.
It's you, yeah, boy.
Where does the fault lie on you?
Hey family, how's everybody doing? Come on in, you guys. Come on in. Hey Amari, how are you? Nancy, LaRose, and Danielle, how's everything going? Hey Miss Phyllis, what's going on with you? She says, what's flowing? SP, Maz, and family and visitor. I like and share. Thanks, Phyllis. Miss Phyllis. That's Miss D Hart to me. Anyway, you guys, yeah, I know I came on a little early because we missed Wednesday. I mean, I think we're all exhausted with the YSL. How's everybody doing? And the results of what happened, what we learned. I'm glad Miss Phyllis is in the building because, you know, she was following this case. And I don't know if she really, you know, did it come out the way she thought it was, but it did come out the way I thought it was. And then how everybody, who took the plea deal, who didn't, who stood ground, even though Yak and Shannon was the last two defendants, we seen Yak got off 100%. He was found not guilty and went home. And we thought Shannon had went home, but Shannon is still in the jail, but he's got 3 charges that he had picked up while he was in. And it pretty much probably contraband and, you know, and I was listening to an interview earlier today. If you guys don't know, I go listen to these interviews. Well, Max Shard, that was Shannon's attorney. He stayed there 10 toes down the whole entire time. But Max he's a different type of person. He really is. A lot of people, they picked the attorney that they liked or loved the most. Some people was Brian Steele, some was Doug Weinstein, some of them was Max, and some of them was I think their last name is the Williams, the two African American attorneys that represented Quay. Phyllis says it was a good interview with Max. Yeah, it was. I was there. I was listening, and I enjoyed the questions. The questions were so professional. Um, AV's channel is professional. Shout out to her, AV to the seventh power. And she's such a beautiful woman, inside and out. I mean, you know what? I don't think that woman can ever say anything wrong. I mean, you know what I mean? You could tell when a person's beautiful inside and out. You know what I mean? And she's one of them that, you say something bad about her, you got problems, because she's just the top of the line, She carries herself very well. But Max was on there doing a interview with her, and she had the questions for him. She let her followers or I don't know if you could call people followers. That's just I don't know. I just think the group. I say a group in all together. Was Phyllis says that was my first time hearing her. She's good. Yeah, she actually she is an attorney. I don't think she practiced though. I think she went. I think I heard her one time say that she is an attorney. She's not in Atlanta, but she is an attorney. But once she got her license, I don't think she practiced. And if she do, she may not practice. Criminal law. But she normally be on this one channel, the lawyer something, it's this guy, and he is just great. He's funny. He's been around for a long time. He's an attorney too, but I think he's an attorney for like relationship, marriages, wills, things of that nature. People pick what they want to get into, and I can understand some people don't want to get into criminal law and get all messy, and they I don't know. You can pick what you want, So let's go into some of the rumors, some of the things that we have been hearing going on, Absolutely teamwork with the defense. What's your take now on whether Williams should have not pleaded? Well, I'm going to tell you, when Mr. Jeffrey Williams took the plea, I was like, okay, he's going to take the plea. I was not shocked, because sometimes things may look a certain way because of a person's position. Not meaning that we all get it, but people can put a spin on things, and it may look like he is a somewhat leader, but not saying that he picked to be a leader or he was a leader. He may just felt he was just Jeffrey helping his friends. But I believe his friends looked to him as a leader because he had made it where they wanted to be. You know, he was out of the hood, he was out of the community. He believed he was a rapper, and he followed his dreams, and he continued doing what he was doing. And plus, I don't know his life, but usually, people probably continued to do what they were doing until he started making a little money, and then he got really, really, really serious. But he knew he liked Lil Wayne so much that he wanted to be Lil Wayne. He dressed like Lil Wayne. He looked like Lil Wayne. But and he followed his dream, and it landed him somewhere. The people in the community backed him up, and now he is this huge, successful rapper. Okay? So my take on the situation is when Jeffrey Williams pleaded on out. He took a no low on most of the charges. So he didn't plead really guilty. He didn't contest it. He felt it in his best interest, and that's what people need to understand. He felt in his best interest that he should go ahead and take a plea, because he can't really, let me tell you something. You really can't trust people. They will say something to get you in trouble and then be like, I didn't know. So he's probably was sitting, and I can't speak for him. I can only speak for myself, knowing that he knew a lot of stuff that was going on or whatever. And so he's looking at one at a time come up on that stand and try to explain why they did what they did and try to get them out of trouble. They have a love for Mr. Jeffrey Williams, but they love themselves. So he gets it. He understands. It's like, when you out there in the street, it don't matter if your homeboy, hey, when it come, I told y'all this a long time ago. Y'all didn't believe me. Hey, Miss Sanja, y'all didn't believe me. But when the feds got you and they raid your house, or they got you locked up, they got you downtown, and you not seeing no sunlight, and 2 years done went by, and you can't get a bond, you can't get, he got all the money in the world, and it just ain't gonna help him get out of jail. And so, when he seen an opportunity, and you gotta realize something. Sometimes people see opportunity. Some people be like, "Oh, if Jeffrey stayed in there, he wouldn't have to move out of Atlanta, and he could still rap and all this other stuff." And I know that's what he would have probably loved to do, is stay in Atlanta and rap, and his career just keep going. But you gotta think, there's two people, that is actually more than two. It's like 3, 4 people deceased. There was a young lady that was innocent driving a car, and Shannon was in the car, and they shot her in the head. Okay, you guys? Okay. And then there was this Drake guy. He was driving, and Shannon was driving right next to him and pulled off, and somehow he got shot. We don't know if Shannon did it or the other car did it or what happened. We don't know. I mean that right there would have just been like, I would have been like, shoot, if one of the people in the defense side done something that, and we all know, now we don't know if Little Rod actually did what he did or whatever. Everybody's gonna fight. Everybody's gonna say, I'm innocent. Can't everybody be innocent? And then you've got all these, DEAD, unlive people around. Now, I did watch the interview of Peanut's mother. And she was at the cemetery and she was crying and she can't believe what happened. She said she knew it. She felt it when she walked in the courtroom that, those people wasn't playing fair. She didn't get mad at the state. She said the state did what they can do. Well, one thing I tell you guys all the time, and I learned this, and some people got mad, sometimes, and I don't know, I don't know, I'm not God, but like, I believe God have compassion on us. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. It just is. If Jeffrey probably wouldn't have took that plea, everybody think, oh, he would have been walking home and getting out and can stay in Atlanta. I think what was for Jeffrey is for Jeffrey. Okay? If he wants to be, to spread love and goodness, he really couldn't continue doing what he was doing. So they kind of like setting him down. Like, you've got millions. Raise your kids and don't ever come back to prison. Like, don't even come to Atlanta where it is so easy for you to get in trouble. You got a whole new state to go to and try to make good out of all the money that you got, because you got so much money now. You don't have to rap about things. Let's rap about the good things, like, love and happiness, and you can still. But some people say, somebody sent me some information saying that Young Thug. I haven't looked at it because when they told me about it, I just really just don't believe it's Young Thug. I think there's always people out there posting, trying to get views, clicks, and everything, trying to get a channel, change their name up, and then you wouldn't even known who that was at the time that you subscribe to the channel and stuff. I mean, there's all kind of tricks to the game. But anyway, saying that Young Thug posted something about Yak. Now, I'm not saying it's true or it's not true. I said to myself, I don't believe that Young Thug did anything, because that would be violating his probation if he, talked about like Yak is a snitch or a rat, or you can't trust nobody or something. I think that's what they told me. And I was like, I just asked the person, I was like, did you see Young Thug say this or something? Like, if Young Thug was on there, and not like what I'm doing right now and you hear my voice or whatever, but if you literally seen him say, yeah, you can't trust nobody, but if you see a picture or somebody explaining this or saying that they got that from that, it's just, people plays with other people's life as long as it's not them, their kids, their grandkids. They'll talk about it all day long as it's somebody else's kid. But let it come on their front porch and see how they don't want you to say nothing, and you better not say nothing, and be crying and everything. You guys, I'm going to tell you something. This is far from being over with. That's the sad thing about the situation. It's the saddest thing, because I heard, I don't know how true it is, but Shell Kell got released today. Mr. Watts, and that's Peanut's alleged brother. And, people were always looking for revenge and not growing up. Just always remembering, oh, that was my brother and I love him, I'm going to get some revenge. It's hard to, and I hear when Shannon gets out, and it'll be maybe this end of this, well, maybe not this week, but next week, they say before Christmas, so that's only but 2 weeks from now. Anyway, he he's not gonna even stay in Atlanta. He's gonna leave Atlanta, which maybe maybe these boys are making a big turnaround in their life. But as far as Jeffrey making a plea, I think it was in his best interest. And just always remember, just because you see this is how it ended right now because of all the other stuff, doesn't mean that the outcome would have been the same if everybody stayed in. You know what I'm saying? That changes the whole you know, diagram of the whole situation. Okay, it's like this, like okay, so check this out, because people always want to assume that they see the end of something and they say, oh, look how beautiful that cake turned out. See, if you would have just left that chocolate pudding in that cake, it still would have turned out good, because that cake was just good. But if okay, so you got a chance to take the chocolate pudding out. So you take the chocolate pudding out and say that cake turned out good. But had you kept the chocolate cake in there, the consistency of the chocolate cake would be totally different. It wouldn't be the same type of cake. You understand what I'm saying? Like, people think it's going to turn out good because when you took it out, it turned out good. But if you left it in, it's still going to turn out good because we see what it turned out without it. No, that's not the case. Because sometimes, it only takes one person that want to be famous. And if you look at everybody that has been on this case, and I'm talking about from YouTube to the court, talking about the attorneys, talking about the reporters, talking about the DA, talking about the state, talking about the judges. I mean, everybody. Everybody's trying to get a little dime, a little quarter, a little nickel, something. Everybody trying to be YouTube famous and TikTok famous, Woody famous. They see Woody, got a, 6th, 7th, 8th grade education, and he's making all the money in the world. And but you couldn't tell these boys get online and start, and even the jurors, oh, YS, I mean, I'm not saying nothing bad about it. I'm just not. I'm just saying, I don't know. I could have. It's just, everybody want to talk about the experience. But if they want to talk about it, but they want to get paid also. They don't want to just be like, oh, yeah. But it ain't nothing wrong with it, because time is money, and money is valuable. And we in the United States make money valuable, so we work hard to get it, right? And if you put your time into something, especially a year, I believe that you got a story to tell. And of course, I mean, nickels and quarters and dimes, they add up. Go get it. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, like, and we all want to know how these jurors and the attorneys feel about certain things and ask them questions and stuff, because there's no way to just, you want to accept what happened and not know, like, did this right here affect you? Did this question affect you, juror number 50 whatever? And they answer the questions, and we sit there and listen to it. It's definitely going to be a movie. But I believe Jeffrey, took the plea deal, and that was good for Jeffrey. Now, if he was my son, and I'm gonna say this, and I said this once before, if that was my son, I would have told him to take the deal. Now, because Jeffrey did not know what he was gonna get. When Jeffrey got what he got, everybody was happy about it. Everybody was like, yeah. Now, if he was the leader in the leader crumble, you would think everybody else would crumble. And people call it crumble or whatever. But I don't believe Jeffrey was ever the leader. I think Jeffrey was just a friend, and he had a lot to lose. He had way more to lose than anybody else. Everybody else says a life is a life. But once you been up, time is money. He's already came out of the hood, and he's got kids. He wasn't out there doing ruckus or nothing. Everybody just knew him, and he gave them money, and he helped. And if they stole from him, he didn't make a big deal out of it. And he rent them cars, and he just party with them and try to get them to make music like him. And you can make him in, and he was trying to do that. I believe that. And with the people in the same, and I told you guys this from day one. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I do believe it was a game. And I do believe it's a game. But it wasn't like, and like the state say, I believe the state when they say it's more like a hybrid gang. Like, you don't have to get jumped in. You don't have to pay dues. There's no leader. But, we're just all in agreement that we're going to support each other, and we're going to help each other out, and we're going to look after each other. And it grew. It grew into, and these are people that had absolutely nothing to lose at the beginning of this. You know what I'm saying? So, and I mean, that's my thought and theory about the whole situation. And their gang has been very successful. That's why they can be in other type of gangs and not have a problem and be affiliated, because it's not really a gang. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and the only reason why I believe it's something of that nature, it's a gang, but it's not really a gang, and they just, because, in every little community, you have things like that. And if you have boys, you learn about stuff like that, and they are affiliated with the bigger gangs like the Crips or Bloods and things of that nature. And they may call themselves and all of that, So, life goes on, but you have these little bitty gangs. I wouldn't call them hybrid gangs. I mean, people make up names for things because it sounds great or wonderful or whatever. And so if we've never learned or heard about these hybrid gangs, you can't come out and say, "Oh, it's called a hybrid gang." Let me tell you. Let me define it to you what a hybrid gang is. Everything that you think it is. You don't have to jump in this gang. You don't have to pay dues in this gang. You don't have to do. But everybody was just doing their own, crime. They wasn't doing it to give Jeffrey Williams $10. I don't believe that. I think Jeffrey had his money and you had your money, and if you went out and robbed Peter and paid it to Paul, that's what you did. But if you came to me and you say, "Cuz, I just got beat up," okay, come and help me, because you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just friends, a whole bunch of friends that got them, a name. Jeffrey loved the name so much. And he put it on a label because that's where he's from, and he tried to help his community. She said, "I completely agree. I think because he was well known, they tried to make him look like the mastermind." Yeah, I don't believe Jeffrey did any. I think Jeffrey has the mindset of the streets, though, because he came from the street. But as far as a leader, he was not the leader. I just don't believe that. I mean, what? I mean, and I get it, if he wasn't telling them to do bad things. I don't believe that. You know what? I'm just saying, if he was, like, I can be very level-headed where I just cannot see that in him. But even if it was true, and he was what they want to call the leader, I don't believe he was telling them to do mischief stuff. You guys understand what I'm saying? I believe if he was the leader, he was telling them things like, get into the music, come over here, work for me, do this, do that, you can do this. I believe he was giving them positive things to do. Now, the thing about that, and I know some people be like, that doesn't even make sense, because he rapped about this and he rapped about what he knew. He grew up in the street, and you can't take that from somebody. That's why this case was so important, is because yes, it's drill music. Yes, you throw the dozens in there. Yes, you talk about people's mama. Yes, you talk about people. You like to hate. The more controversial the situation is, the more people going to stick to you. If we were sitting up here talking about people like a dog, there would be 10,000 people in here right now. It'd be 1,000 people. Hey, SP, you said this about such mama, so such said this. You did this. You did. If there was conflict in the air, this channel would snap like that as soon as you open it up. I guarantee it. Get in an argument with one person and let them come over here. The channel grows. I don't want that kind of growth. I just don't. Never have, never will. But I have seen it. Not try to make it happen. It just happens. People get they get all in their feelings. You got S starters. Some people say, S talkers and S starters. And then they be like, she said this, you did, and be lying. And be like, you said it. And I be like, no, I did not. And yes, you did. And I told her what you said. Well, go back and replay it. Well, you took it out. No, I didn't. I don't even know how. Yes, you do. You lying. Just, I've been through the arguments and all that other stuff. It's nothing good about it. And people come over here trying to bully you. Yeah, I'm the biggest person on the block. You got a whole universe. And there's always somebody that wants to knock you down. If you get 10 subscribers, they're mad. They want to cuss you out, call your name, want to say that they know you. Man, when this channel started, people would cuss me out, call me names, say they know me, they know this, they know that. They know. I said, you guys will learn it in time, because I'm going to tell it to you. But had I not tell it to you, you wouldn't, until. And they just sit in the bushes and wait. Then they run over there. And some of them get really close to you. And you be thinking, okay, I'm going to give this person a chance. I'm going to make them a mod or something. And they a part of the group that's trying to knock you down. To get your 2 little followers or your 10 little followers or your 30 little followers. They want your 30 followers. I'd never seen nothing like it before in my life. And it's like, well, there's 30 people following her and there's 2 over here. Let's go over there and corrupt some. Hey, SP, how you doing? We're buddy, we're friends. I mean, there's people right now that's in this channel that I know they was a part of that group. I know this. And you know what? I don't hate them, but I've heard some of the things they had said about me. Oh yeah, I try to help her. Oh yeah, she just dumber than a box of rocks, and and it's just crazy. But that's just the way life is. Now, just like we are a group, but we're not no gang. But if one of you guys went out and did something mischief or something, I mean really horrible, really, really horrible. Like you're on the news, you're on the 5 o'clock news, Good Morning America news. I mean, you did something horrible. I don't even want to say what it could be because I don't want to give nobody the imagination of it. But you did something that horrible and you got on the news. they're gonna look up everything that you've been doing on YouTube and on online, the internet, and they're gonna see that you've been in this channel and what have we talked about, and am I the leader of a satanic group that goes out and do mischief stuff. And they can have me on a Rico, and I'll be like, what the heck? You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, you can twist and turn a lot of stuff. But, man, I am surprised that, Yak got, well, not really surprised that Yak got off free. But, because he actually should have. He really should have. I told you guys that. I said if he get anything, he'll get 5 years. And Shannon get anything, he will get 10, 15. That's what I said. Do you guys remember? Now, come on. There's got to be one person in here remember what I said. And the only reason I said Yak would get something, it's not that I've seen any evidence, but normally when they have you in trial and you go to court and they got 128 charges against you or such and such, it can be you jaywalked or something. You get charged for that. And so I picked the lesser charge of anything. Might be in something of like he overact, like he knew, or like he was aware of joining a group or something. So that's the only reason why I said 5 years, because he was in this group. But other than that, I did not see no evidence of Yak doing anything. And I think that's the reason why, to be honest with you, that's why they all got off. I mean, the last two, Shannon and Yak, got off. Because the state messed up when they tried to accuse Yak of being a part of Peanut's death. I don't hear you or don't remember. Well, I said it like 3 times. I did. I said, y'all make note that I'm going to give you my prediction. You don't remember me saying, I'm going to give you guys my prediction. If Yak get anything, he'll get 5 years. But he won't serve none. That and then I said in Shannon, he'll get 10 to 15. That's what I said. That's what I said. Nobody remember? Sanja said, I don't remember. Y'all don't remember nothing. That's okay. That's okay. That's why, we have these channels, so I know what I said, but I should have changed the title, and then you could have. She said, I just don't remember. I may have came in. Like, nah, you was here. You was here. But, yeah, it's okay. I always do my predictions just so that, some of you will listen. And, I got something to share with you guys, though. So I had to go to some training today, this morning. I messed up a little bit, but nevertheless, this training got nothing to do with it. But this training is for a dementia residents or patients or whatever. So what they do is you have to put on some gloves on top of some gloves, and then you got to wear these goggles that has this special effect in the goggles, and you got to put on these earphones that's going to make noises, and then they take you to this room that they have made up, and they want you to do 5 things that they tell you to do. My things were, they wanted me to button up the shirt, fold the shirt, feed the dog, take the Tuesday noon pill, and then they said separate the deck of cards by their suits. So anyway, so I put on the gloves, the two pair of gloves. One was plastic, and then the other ones was like this one kind. And then I put on the goggles, which I can't see without my glasses. And then I put on the headphones. And then when you first hear noise, you just got to raise your hand, and then he'll give you the 5 things that you have to complete and do. So I was waiting to hear some. Now, take in consideration, you guys, I'm sitting there waiting because he was like, "You hear anything?" And I'm sitting there going, "No, I don't hear anything." And I'm like, "Well, I hear a TV." He was like, "Okay, you can ready to go." I was like, "Oh, okay." I thought I heard a TV. So I go in the room and I'm doing the thing and I'm trying to button up the shirt and I can't get the shirt buttoned up. And then, I go feed the dog. I fed the dog. Then I went and take my pill. I took the pill. And then I went and count the change to 37 cents. And I couldn't remember the last thing he told me to do. So when we got done, we have to discuss about what, this is how a person that has dementia feels. Like, was it hard for you to complete these tasks? And it was hard to complete the task because the gloves was on there, but he was like, but okay, what should have disoriented me was the voices and the playing and people yelling and crying and all this other stuff, which I was scared of that. Right? I was scared of that. And you guys know the reason why I'm scared of it, because I hear things all the time. You're good, sweetheart. Don't take it personal. No. So anyway, nah, I just asked y'all to remember that, and I know I asked a lot of things, but that I particularly asked you guys, but it's no big deal. I was like, we're gonna come back to that. I'm gonna show y'all. I want y'all to remember. I said this is it, but I don't remember. It's no big deal. Don't worry about it. But anyway, and there was probably a lot going on, and I probably was all over the place. I take the blame for that because that's the way I am. But anyway, so when we got done, we had to talk about our experience. And I was like, man, I just could not remember the last thing that you told us to do. And he was like, that's fine. You did great. You did good. I was like, really? Because I said, but I didn't hear none of the voices or the plane or the car. And I didn't hear none of that. He said, you didn't hear none of it? I was like, I don't even want to say I didn't hear none of that. Because I hear it all the time. You know what I'm saying? And, the phone ring, the doorbell ring, the kids playing, the highway, the cars going down the street, the booming music, and then somebody hollering or something. I hear stuff all the time. I mean, especially when you're in the dementia lockdown unit, you hear stuff all the time. You're looking for key things like boom, bang, like a big crash or something. Then that gets your attention. But hearing somebody talk and what they're saying, I walk down the halls, I hear people talking to themselves all the time, or talking to the wall, or talking in their sleep, or I just hear it. So I felt like how in the world he's going to be looking like, how in the world she didn't hear all of this stuff. I didn't hear nothing. And I felt bad because I just did not hear nothing. I wanted to hear the things, but I didn't hear anything. I just didn't hear it. So Yeah. Crazy. And but he checked my earphones and was like, they're working. Yeah, I hear it. You don't hear that? I'm like, no, I don't hear it. It was a really good training session. It really was. It was really good. And it was crazy, but it was good. But anyway, um, it was just weird, that I couldn't hear the voices or anything. And that's good. I guess that's good. But anyway, I guess sometimes we hear what we want to hear. That's what that says. We hear what we want to hear. But anyway, a lot of things. Oh, my TV came in today. I wanted you guys to know it came in. It's here, but I don't have the thing to put it up. So, we'll, it is what it is. So anyway, yeah, I thought about you guys when I was doing that little skills test, and I thought, wow, we hear what we want to hear. Like I said, if you work in a facility and you hear a lot of things, it may just be normal to you to hear these things, and you just still, wow, that's what I'm thinking. It's just normal to me. It's just normal. It's crazy. It's just normal to me. So it didn't bother me at all. I'm still trying to keep focused and staying focused or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, he said some people, they ended up eating the dog food, or taking the wrong pill for the wrong day, or unbuttoned, they didn't fit, they didn't fold the clothes or whatever, stuff like that. But he told me I did really well, but I work on that. That's why it's always good to do puzzles and things of that nature, you guys. So yeah. Anywho's, yeah. Anywho's, life is good. It really is. I'm hoping that Monday comes. I just YSL. I'm so glad it's over. It was so intense, and to see the outcome of it, I didn't think we were ever going to get to the end. And now seeing everybody talking about it and learning. There was one juror, and she was an alternate juror. She said had she not been an alternate but been actually one of the 12 jurors, she would have said that they were guilty. She had her mind set that if somebody got sick and they called her in to be one of the jurors, the one of the 12, she said she would have held out, and it would have been a hung juror, because she would have said they were guilty. And she said she had her mind already made up. And yeah. She was like, you got to remember they were young when they did it, and she basically was like, and she was educated too. She wasn't one of the ones that talked one stuff. You know what I'm saying? All that side lingo, and that's what I'm gonna just call it, side lingo. Uh, you know, and you could tell she didn't show her face, but you could tell that she was an older woman, and she spoke very proper English and spoke very well, but she was already biased from the beginning. Like, she didn't have nothing of evidence. She just kept on saying that these boys did it, and she would have just voted that they were guilty, which she was more worried about what she didn't know. You know what I'm saying? But she has faith. She's the type of person that, whatever the state would have told her, she would have took it as like the truth. Even though if they say, well, what happened to the watch? She was like, well, that didn't have anything to do with anything. So that just didn't weigh with me. And that was just like a smoking screen. And, there was so many people that was the jurors. They bias a little bit. I just don't believe they all just went home and never watched. They can't not never say. They can't come on the live and be like, yeah, I heard this from this and heard that, because then they will be in trouble, and they would have to go to court because the judge told them to don't go looking for information and reading information and talking about it. Now you get on there and say, well, I had heard a little something, but they talking. Somebody sooner or later gonna say something wrong, and I guarantee it. And y'all be like, well, no, you wouldn't say, well, SP told us, because y'all not gonna remember either. We just all getting old. That's all to it. Hey, Zena, how you doing? Hey, Soldier Girl. Hey, C6 Banks. What's going on? We're just all getting old. That's all to it. I literally messed up at work this morning. Forgot to do something I was supposed to do. When I went back in there to do my thing, I could correct some of my stuff. But, it's all good. It's all good. I try to do the best. I try to do better. I learn from my mistakes. It's just crazy. Crazy. So life do go on. So, anyway, you guys, we will get on a different topic. I mean, in YSL, the speaking on it is still a real big, conversation piece. It really is. But there's going to be people, they done talk to the jurors, they done talk to the attorneys. The only people that nobody has talked to yet is Yak and, Shannon and Young Thug and all the other defendants. They really have not spoken outside of that. And I believe, and I'm just being transparent about the situation, because there's some people that's gonna be upset. They are. They're gonna be upset. Not everybody can win. And that's just the bottom line. Not everybody can win. So you don't want to boast about winning something, and you've got people out there that is hurting, that feels hurt, that feels the pain. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens. You know what I'm saying? That feels the pain. So it'll all play out. Okay, you guys. I'm gonna get off of here. I've been listening to music all day, feeling good about things. Um, just really just thinking about the whole situation. It really took a lot out of me for the whole year. Just being focused on this trial and trying to hear. I mean, a whole year done went by. Could you just imagine watching this for a whole year and them boys being locked down for 2 years? That's a lot. And I felt like I was kind of doing some time with them. So when we hear, Miss Kayla and Mary Shannon, I mean, those are things that is like highlights to me. Or Woody telling them to don't ask him about Young Thug. Ask Young Thug, is he friends with such and such? Those things right there is memorable. I don't wish nothing bad on Wody. He's got a second chance, and he's happy. And I mean, it's only so much of Wody I can listen to. I'm an older woman though. I'm more like an auntie to him, or a grandma to him, because I got kids his age. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna sit around just listening to Wody. I've done lived my life. He can't teach. I mean, anybody can teach you something, but what he's learning right now, he should have got 10 years ago. You know what I mean? So it feels good to him, and he's got money now. He got Bentley cars, and he got way more money than you, me, everybody in here put together. Woody got way more money than all of us. But I'm going to tell you guys something. There's 7 people in here, and I'm going to say this. And, if you don't remember me saying this, that'll be on you. But here's the thing. At the bottom line, I'm going to say this. And Zena's saying hello to everybody in the chat. Thank you, Zena. And thank you, Miss Sanjawaz, and everybody in here. But check this out, you guys. And I don't say this wishing bad. I'm just going to say it because, I do believe it's going to happen. And when I believe something's going to happen, Soldier Girl said, Woody snitched. Yeah. It normally do happen, and it's not because I want it to happen or I threw it in the atmosphere. It's because some things, I mean, you can see it coming. It's almost like a train. But, and everybody's all excited about everybody getting out and everybody getting free. But how you going to feel when one of them end up deceased or, unlived or whatever, and then you hear about it? You know what I'm saying? So sometimes being in jail or something can save a life. But being out, being caged is hard to save your own life if you're in a situation kind of like Yak, and he got stabbed in the head and Shannon got stabbed in the stomach. Them boys fighting for their life in prison, Guess what's gonna happen when they get out? It don't change, you guys, just because you're out. You're just not confined to other people's rules and regulations and places you can go. You can defend yourself, but you see all the people that's deceased around them. That ain't gonna stop. That ain't gonna stop. You think everybody gonna be like, oh, okay, they got off free. Well, my partner gone. I guess I'll just go over here. Them boys, them other boys, a rival gang or whatever, they gonna be like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? The state just let Shell Kill out. Just probably gave him a little plea deal, a little pat on the back or something. Sometimes, see, the state played dirty. Yeah. They let out stuff so people will fight and argue and take each other out. But guess what? They got a job. It's almost like I hate to say this, but it's almost like the doctors, you know. You get a pill and then you get another pill. Now you got a doctor to help you keep giving you pills to figure out what's wrong with you when, 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to say it because I'm not giving you no medical advice. I'm just not. I'm just saying this is how the world is. You know what I'm saying? And some people be thinking, oh, no, that's not their whole persona. That's not what they're trying to do. No, it's not what they're trying to do, but that's what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? It keeps the world going. It keeps the money flowing. It keeps things going. So if just like if you needed to pay a bill, once you pay that bill, then that's when there's another bill. That's when something else. You buy a car, then the motor go out, and then you get the motor fixed, and then the tires flat, and then you got insurance, and then you get a ticket, and da 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 da, and then you know what I'm saying. And then somebody break the windows out, or somebody hit your car, or da 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 da. And then if it ain't the car, then it's your refrigerator. That's how the world works. But we as people add things into the equation so that you may need me. That's like and I just see a lot of that too. But I know how I'm going to feel because I'd rather have a live child, and I hate that to say, in prison than a dead child that's not in prison. You guys understand what I'm saying? So, with long answer short, with Young Thug, Jeffrey Williams taking a plea deal, I think what was for Jeffrey is for Jeffrey. And he could have seen something coming, or he felt like, man, these people just telling. I mean, because they all was really talking. The only two people that did not talk was Jeffrey and Shannon. They the only two that did not talk. But Shannon talked on the phone. Do this. I was over here. Hey, man, what's going on? He talked to his buddies. He talked on the phone. If they took the phone and put him in jail, he found the phone in jail. So he could talk some more and talk some more and talk some more. And that's how they got contraband and all of that. That's why he's still in jail now. Because he picked up those contraband cases in jail. He couldn't just sit there. He got to talk to his homies. Okay. They all telling and talking and telling. And then they're listening. They tapped in on the phone call. And then they're talking. Jeffrey just sit down. I did not hear one tape where Jeffrey was like, yeah, man, did y'all do this? Yeah, I mean, he probably said handle that or something like that. And just saying handle something doesn't mean, oh, he put the hit out. No, handle something means just take care of it. Like, don't let it take care of you. You know, you can take it in a good way, or you can take it in a bad way. If you're mad, you're gonna say something bad. If you're happy, you're gonna be a little bit more lenient. You're gonna be like, yeah, I see, because somebody say, oh, okay, SP, handle that. Okay. That don't mean go do some mischief, But if you really look at the whole situation, Peanut's mom. She was at the graveyard. She was crying. She was talking to Peanut, telling him that they still standing and she still got her faith in God and things of that nature, And she said it's just really lonely without Peanut. She misses her child. She wanted somebody to pay. She said they know what they did. They did this. But I'm like, okay, but where's the evidence? I can feel her pain, but You just can't lock up people. Not okay. You can't just lock up 5, 6, 7 people. You know. You just can't. You know what I'm saying? Like it. Where's the smoking gun? Like who did it? Who did it? Do you got one person that was in the car that did it? That's it. If Woody, this is what Woody said this one time, you guys. Woody said, if I spoke on something, I didn't speak on something because I heard it. I spoke on something because I was a part of it. You understand what I'm saying? But just because a person won't tell, you know, they told you so much truth. They told you so many lies. You don't know the truth from the lie. She said the state just wanted Jeffrey. Number one, they just didn't have the jurors that would believe the patched up case they had. Yes, I and everyone else feel for the mom, but there's no solid. Exactly. There's no solid evidence. And I do feel for her, but like I believe, and I'm just gonna say this, and thank God I wasn't one of the jurors. I don't believe Jeffrey would have rented a car and told them to go do some mischief. That's stupid. And rented the car in his name. Okay? That don't even make sense. I think he rented a car and you know, just like anybody else. If their mama had a car, the girlfriend had a gun or whatever, they use this, they use that, you know. They didn't come out and say, hey, by the way, you rent me a car, I'm going to go and do a drive-by or whatever. No, I think he rented somebody a car because they needed a car or something. And something happened. Okay? And it kind of got him in the middle of some stuff. That's what I believe. I don't think he said, hey, we need to take out. I mean, but I wasn't there, you guys. I just wasn't there. So I can't be 100% sure. But I tell you one thing I can be. If there's doubt, and I'm saying I have more doubt than that it's feasible that it did happen, I wouldn't say that he was guilty. I wouldn't say he was guilty of the RICO. I wouldn't say he was guilty of any of it. Absolutely any of it. I didn't see none of it everybody knew Jeffrey. Everybody hung around him. You know, he's an icon. He's a rapper. He's doing really well. He was very freely, helped you and everything. And I would have hung around him too. He's like, come on, SP. We can get you started. I'm like, okay. He would have said, I would have been on it. I wouldn't have been like, let me go rob Peter. Let me go rob, I'm going to go do some gangster stuff. Because we got it like that. But, when he's rapping about things like that they used to do back in the day, or, I just don't believe he's like that. He's a very soft-spoken young man. He didn't have to do stuff like that. That's the thing. That's the number one thing. He did not have to do any of that. And he was still going to be rich at the end of the day. If he would have said, you know what, I don't want to hang out with none of y'all. Matter of fact, I'm going across seas. I'm going out of town. I'm going to be on tour for the next 6 months. He don't have time to even talk to his friends or buddies or whatever. And then he get it going on or something. You know? Thank you very much, Sanja. All right, you guys, we are in our hour. I was just giving y'all a little bit of the feed of what happened. And everyone feels for the mom, but there's no there just was not no solid evidence. It just wasn't. And I know she wanted to see somebody get sometimes something, And I feel for her, but like I said, there was more doubt than anything. And it wasn't that the defense. See, a lot of people's like, oh, the defense was really, really good. No, let me tell you. Let me share something with you. And this is the end of the whole situation. It should have been a mistrial. It really should have been a mistrial. And when they seen that they wasn't not going to get a mistrial with prejudice, so they wouldn't be trialed again, they that's why you started seeing the plea deal. It wasn't because the big, when the judge got recused, it should have been a mistrial. Hello? For real. When the judge got recused, it should have been a mistrial right there. See, if they would have went back to court and retried this, because the state really did want to retry this again. You guys know that, right? Yeah. So, because they messed up a lot. They was going to get something on Woody. And I guarantee you, he would have been coming in there singing like a bird. Because that right there was their key witness. That was their best witness. Woody was the best witness. Mutuk's Antonio Sledge was one of their best witnesses. And then that Verito woman, which was the gang investigator, she was the best witness. And she didn't care if she was wrong about something. She said, I still would have done it. And you just got people like that. Anyway, you guys, I'm going to get off of here. It is, I got a phone call to make, and you guys got things to do. I will see you guys Monday at 3 p.m. Central Time.